They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. Oh, poor George Zimmerman. He's homeless and he's struggling, and he's $2.5 million in debt. Oh, I guess it just didn't pay to take out a child, because that's what Trayvon was at the time. He was only 17. So, I don't know why you would have thought you were going to just go off in the sunset and live this incredible life. That never happens. That never happens. That stain is going to be on you for the rest of your life. And you think you're miserable now, you ain't seen nothing yet. The bottom line is, I've done other stories on George Zimmerman, but it's been quite some time. I remember I did some when he was trying to go to all these different dating sites, trying to get himself a woman, and they kept throwing him off because they knew who he was. And he was even going on there under different names. And once they saw his photo, they knew who he was, and he would get kicked off the site. How embarrassing. So, y'all, yes, people are taking a lot of pleasure in this news. They are. I'm not going to lie. And so am I. So am I. Hmm. I guess his family don't want to take him in. Isn't his father a judge? You mean to tell me he couldn't do anything to help you out? Like give you some hookup on jobs and stuff? Usually, people like that are pretty well connected, but I guess they don't want to do nothing for his behind. They don't want to do nothing for him. All right. Let me share my screen. Please give me a one if you can see my screen. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's reports saying that George Zimmerman is now homeless and broke and drowning in legal debt. That's what they're saying. It's crazy, man. You know how sometimes people say things and you really don't know if how true it is. When the verdict came in that George Zimmerman was not guilty for the unaliving of Trayvon Martin, I was hurt. I was hurt, because in my opinion, if you initiated the contact with Trayvon Martin after the police told you not to, and the results of that confrontation were what they were, you initiated that means that you're guilty of the loss of life. And when that came up that said, oh, well, he's not guilty, my father said the next day, from this day forward, that boy, George Zimmerman, will be a pariah. He'll never have peace. Nobody will want anything to do with him. And I was like, well, I don't know how, certain things in this country and this, that, and whatever. My daddy was right. Now, mind you, my father passed in 2022. But he was right. He was 100% right. I'll be damn. Because I thought your daddy was a powerful judge and all that, and you homeless. Goes to show you, them folk be knowing what they talking about. Them grown folk, when they tell you it don't matter how much money you got, how much power you have, who all you related to, nobody is more powerful than God. Because the crazy thing about it is, if you had been found guilty and if you were sitting in prison, you'd have a roof over your head. You'd have something to eat every day. You probably wouldn't even be in debt. It is what it is. Comes back around some kind of way.
George Zimmerman, reportedly homeless, unemployed, and struggling with mental health issues while facing $2.5 million in legal debt years after his acquittal in the Trayvon Martin case. It's been so hot outside, y'all. Oh, now God, make it 150. Yes, burn it up outside. I'm talking about making a drought. I don't want the nigga to be able to lick the ground for something to drink. Anyway, y'all, this ain't no concern to us. Let them other folks handle that. Listen, y'all, I got some new stuff coming out this weekend. We back to making movie reviews. What else I got going on? Because this, I don't give a damn about. Let him sit. I wish I knew what corner he was on. I'd give him $10,000 worth of counterfeits. Make him think he hit the jackpot. $10,000 in a goddamn Arizona and bag of Skittles. Burn in hell, mother. Anyway, y'all. Just know that the world is crumbling right now. Gas prices is high. Food is expensive. But the Lord is working on our behalf. I'm just here to bring y'all an update on me at this point. I'm just a messenger.
George Zimmerman, reportedly homeless, unemployed, and struggling with mental health issues while facing $2.5 million in legal debt years after his acquittal in the Trayvon Martin case. Damn, that's crazy. So what y'all doing this weekend? What y'all up to this weekend, man? What was y'all favorite lunch growing up in elementary school?
Hey, Tony, see me? I was just over here practicing juggling pretzels. But this is where I believe George Zimmerman messed up, Now, although, being racist in this country nowadays, you can be kind of prosperous. You actually make a lot of money doing that. It's an in thing right now. Take my word for it if you don't believe me. But see, it helps if you're like white. And George Zimmerman is not like that kind of white. He's not like white. Even though he might have deluded himself into believing he was white, but he's not white. But back to that favorite snack in school thing. Now, my thing really was hitting the penny candy store right before I went into school. I would get my little $1. I would get 100 pieces of candy. And my favorite ones was the big blows, or really it's like big balls. I don't know.
On February 26, 2012, 17-year-old Trayvon Martin went to the convenience store. Trayvon was from Miami, but visiting his dad in Sanford, 250 miles away. On his way back to the house, he carried a bag of Skittles and a bottle of juice. However, his simple trip down the street was cut short by George Zimmerman. Zimmerman was an insurance fraud investigator who had been patrolling the neighborhood after a series of break-in burglaries. He was dressed in plain clothes when he saw Martin and took the teen's black hoodie as a sign of suspicion. Zimmerman called the non-emergency line of the local police to report his finding, but the dispatcher told him not to pursue Martin. Yet, he did anyway.
Are you following him? Yeah. Okay, we don't need you to do that.
When Zimmerman approached Martin, he tried to run away, leading to a short chase and a physical altercation. The two struggled on the ground. Then, moments later, gunshots rang and Martin was dead. Zimmerman was found not guilty of second-degree murder and argued his actions were in self-defense, though Martin never posed an armed threat. Martin's death sparked national outrage, and by 2013, the case helped birth the Black Lives Matter movement.
Growing outrage tonight over a new lawsuit filed by George Zimmerman, the man who shot and killed unarmed teenager Trayvon Martin, but was acquitted. Zimmerman is now suing Trayvon Martin's family and others for $100 million. What does he claim? And the family tonight saying he is victimizing them again. Here's Steve Osensami.
Not guilty.
He was acquitted of killing an unarmed black teenager in a shooting many argued was racially motivated. And tonight, George Zimmerman and his lawyer are suing Trayvon Martin's family, their attorney, state police, and former state prosecutors, making the unsubstantiated claim that one of the witnesses at Zimmerman's 2013 trial was a fake. In a lawsuit filed in Florida today, they paint a grand conspiracy and are asking for $100 million. arguing that the young woman who testified that she was on the phone with Trayvon Martin as he was being killed was a fraud, coached by prosecutors and Martin's family.
He said, "Why are you phoning me for?" And then I heard a hard breath man come and say, "What you doing around here?"
The lawyer filing the lawsuit has a long history of suing black lawmakers and pushing conspiracy theories. Larry Klayman once submitted a petition to deport President Obama. His legal tactics have gotten him sanctions and bans from some courtrooms. George Zimmerman hasn't rested since the trial, selling Confederate artwork to raise money for a supposed Muslim-free gun shop, and even selling the gun he used to kill Trayvon Martin. The timing of the lawsuit is curious.
Where I got to know George Zimmerman.
It comes as Zimmerman is promoting a new movie on these new allegations. Trayvon Martin's family tonight says once again they feel victimized. Their lawyer is calling this another failed attempt to defend the indefensible and a shameless attempt to profit off the lives and grief of others. David?
All right, Steve, thank you.
So George Zimmerman is reportedly homeless and struggling and got $2.5 million in legal debt after his acquittal in the Trayvon Martin case. Oh, look at God. Vengeance shall be mine, saith the Lord. Struggling, strung out there. After he high-stepped and keyed and felt that he was justified in the Trayvon Martin case. You know what, y'all? I heard it's supposed to be around 80 degrees today. I think I'm going to go outside, sit on the curb. I ain't sat on the curb since I was a kid. I'm going to go out there and sit on the curb. Let the wind blow on my face. Let the vitamin D from the sun just beam down on my face. You know, I already got that good melanin skin. I'm going to just let the sun do what it do. Might give me some iced tea, put a little sugar in, a little sweet iced tea, sip it on the curb. Might go for a walk, take my dog for a little walk. I need to take her to the groomer because she ain't been in a little minute. And, you know, I need to take her to the groomer. Yeah. I got to go watch that new Spider-Man movie too. I ain't seen that yet. I got to do that. I got to watch Loki. Remember we was talking about that? I got to watch Loki, the Loki series, because you know Doomsday coming out, and I got to watch that. Yeah. You know, ain't God good? Don't God just know how to just, you see, when people wrong you, when people do you wrong, and these people out here that think they justified when they do evil stuff, just know they coming. You don't got to do nothing about it. God said, don't worry about, I'll fight these battles for you. He gonna fight them. Okay? It may seem like the evil is winning now, but just wait. Just wait. They coming. Day is coming. It's not up for you to worry about it.
Yep, I know that's right. You know, I'm glad this is happening to him. It couldn't have happened to a better person. Anthony Bates, thank you for the 10 jewels gold coin. Thank you for your support for my channel. Yeah. Oh, good. You know, that's really sad. His own family won't take him in. I mean, this man done fell out so bad with everybody. What happened to all them people that was backing him and supporting him and cheering him on? I guess they left. Because I remember there was a lot of things that happened to him after the trial. There were a lot. I know he had some so-called girlfriend and he fell out with her. And then I think he had some falling out with his ex-wife and her father. And then he went to, I think, a bar and got into a fight in a bar. It was all kinds of things that happened to him. So I guess life is never going to be what you thought it would be. What a pity, George Zimmerman. I hope the rest of your life is pure hell. You certainly deserve it. So, y'all, thank you so much for being here. I got one more live coming up at 8. And that is a cyber attack has taken place on a city in California. And what they did was disrupt their 911 system, and it forced the mayor to call. I think the governor had to call for a state of emergency because they literally could not do any 911 calls. So they're calling it a cyber attack, and I still think they don't have it resolved. You know, a lot of times when these attacks happen, they don't get out of it right away. Some of these hackers be demanding a ransom. And if you go out and look at some of the cities where this happened to, they paid the ransom. They paid the ransom because not only did it hack their city government, it also hacked their ability to get their paychecks. So it got real deep. So I will see you at 8 o'clock. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support. Don't forget to pick up your hair products, and I'll see you on my next live. Shalom, family.